Well, that next year, 2019, you guys actually broke the story about Tristan Thompson messing around with Jordyn Woods.
Correct.
At that time, he was in a relationship with Khloe Kardashian, and Jordyn Woods was the best friend of Khloe's sister, Kylie Jenner.
Yes.
So you got this information.
Yes.
And listen, as someone in the media, I get a lot of information.
Uh-huh.
I get a lot of things that fall in my lap that I say, okay, noted, I'm going to leave it alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll even take that information and call the person and say, hey, this just crossed my desk. I'm not going to put it out, but I'm letting you know that it's floating around out there. And actually, I've actually been able to form relationships, strong relationships with people over doing that.
Yeah.
But there's always the balancing act.
Yeah.
I got this. Do I put it out? Do I not put it out?
Yeah.
You decided to put it out.
Yes.
Tell me the rationale behind it and your thought process.
So, 2010, I became friends with, or 2009, 2008, maybe even. I became friends with Rob Kardashian, and we were friends. And I had a lot of love for Rob, and I wanted to help Rob be great because he was tired of doing the show with his family. He didn't feel like they respected him. He didn't feel like it was beneficial to him, and he was a wild boy out in these streets. Me, him, Chris Brown, different people were hanging out at the time. Jordyn Woods was in the mix. And so I helped him develop the Rob Kardashian Jr. Foundation. And I called City of Hope and Children's Hospital. Mind you, I used to work with Kaiser, so I had the connections in healthcare, and I thought we would create a foundation that would service those in need for cancer research, cancer education, and resources. I created a whole event, and the performer at the time was Kanye West. You can't even write this. It almost looks like, I still have the deck where Kanye would perform. And we would do this. And Chris, we spent all this time on it, and Chris decided not to do it. So I had developed a relationship with Kris Jenner. And then that didn't work. So then I go and do a party with Kelly Price and Faith Evans, and I invite Whitney Houston, and then Whitney Houston dies. And then the world goes crazy, and I don't know what to do. So I call Kris Jenner. She helps me through that. So I think I developed a relationship with these people in my mind. Cardi B becomes a star. They want Cardi B to come and hang out with the Kardashians because they really want to keep up with Cardi. So I bring Cardi to Chris's house. So we're social. Kanye's there, Kim's there, Chris is there, Corey Gamble, me, and Cardi, and we're having cocktails and eating guacamole. So I'm thinking we're socially cool. We're not friends, but we're socially cool. Enough to where I can pick up the phone. I got Chris's number. I didn't have Khloe's number at the time. I had Rob's number, whatever. But me and Larsa Pippen had developed a really close friendship at the time. And they were still close. So I'm getting ready to get in the shower, and my editor calls, and she says, hey, what are you doing? And we're just kind of shooting the shit. I'm like, I'm about to get in the shower. I got to do this, got to do that. She goes, okay, cool. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do that. Oh, I went to this party last night. So crazy. Jordyn and Tristan Thompson are messing around. I'm like, what? She's like, Jordyn Woods and was all over Tristan Thompson. And I'm like, are you sure? She breaks down they took our phones. There was hookah. I got this video. She didn't have video of them canoodling or whatever what they were doing, but she had videos like in the house. So she was there. I said, so exactly what happened? Walk me through exactly what happened. So she walked me through what happened. And she said that, they were all over each other and that they were taking everybody's phones and Tristan. Now, mind you, she had sent me videos of Tristan out with other girls before. I passed on it because I was like, I don't know that situation. I don't know what their relationship is. And I wasn't close enough to Larsa at the time. So I let that one go. This one, I was like, I got to at least give Larsa a heads up and Khloe, because I feel like this is shady and I don't want to know this if I do decide to break it. And Larsa's my friend, and I don't tell her because then it's gonna be awkward that they know we're friends. Because I had been to Larsa's house with Courtney, and they knew we were familiar. So I call Larsa and I say, hey, this I just got this information that Tristan and Jordyn were messing around, and she was like, no way, this is crazy. I'm like, no way, for real. So she calls Kim, and Kim is like dismissive, like absolutely not. This is crazy. Like there's no way. So she calls Courtney, and she tells Courtney, Jason Lee just told me this, and if Jason Lee said it, he wouldn't lie about something like this. So Courtney called Khloe, and I guess on their phone call, Courtney told Khloe, if Jason's saying it, there has to be something there. And long short of it all is my understanding in talking to Khloe, she then called and confronted Jordyn. And Jordyn told her that something had happened. Now, I guess Jordyn had called her earlier that morning and said, hey, I stayed over last night. I stayed there later to make sure all the girls got out. Everything was cool. But she didn't tell her this other part. So I guess when Khloe confronted her, Khloe said she admitted it. So and Khloe said, run it. Run it. I said, okay. So I ran the story. And then TMZ tried to take it and say it was their story. And so I called Larsa like, fuck that. We're not doing it. And I called, and at the time I got Khloe's number. And I said, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to politic with TMZ. Clearly that was my exclusive. Nobody knew but me. Like if you guys told him, she was like, no, I'll go on there and comment. So she went on and commented, verified it. Then all hell broke loose.
Yeah. All hell broke loose. Jordyn Woods essentially got kicked out of that whole family structure. But the thing is that if you look at Jordyn Woods, it's almost like the best thing that's ever happened to her. Like she now has a basketball player boyfriend. She's doing Fashion Nova ads.
Well, let me jump in. Not only was this all happening at the time, I was also friends with Jordyn's mom, Elizabeth.
Mm.
Knew Elizabeth very well and have a lot of respect for Elizabeth. In many ways, Elizabeth was raising her kids the same way Chris was raising her kids to be stars or whatever. But she was the sidekick. The minute this happened, it thrusted Jordyn outside of that shadow and she became her own woman. She lost weight. She started really getting into fashion. She started becoming a voice in the Black community because Black people really stood behind her. She leveraged her relationships with Will and Jada to go and get that look on Red Table to stand and Will and Jada ended their relationship with the Kardashians defending her. Chris and Jada had a fight on the phone. I mean, like, this is what I was told from people around them, that there was this huge fight. Jada was like, y'all not going to do that. And so Jada and Will rode for Jordyn. And what I saw was Jordyn grow into a beautiful woman on her own. She doesn't just have a basketball player, a husband, a boyfriend. I really like Carl Towns. I mean, I really like how he respects her, honors her, treats her. I've seen them out at dinner. Very awkward running into them at Craig's or at fucking Crustaceans because it's like, I want to go over and apologize because I'm not sorry I did my job, but I'm sorry that it was as painful for her. I understand that, like, the sister had to be relocated from school because she was getting threats and there was a lot of fallout from that. But in many ways, I've joked too and said they owe me 10%.
Right.
Because she's done movies. She's doing brand deals. She's her own woman now. And she seems very genuinely happy. And it's all about Jordyn. It's not about Kylie or being her best friend anymore.
No, like I said, I think it's the best business move that she could have possibly made by messing around with Tristan. I mean, at the time, I'm sure it was hell. But you fast forward a couple of years and it's like, you're right. She's got all these things going for her. When before, I had no idea who she was. I was not watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but now everyone knows who Jordyn Woods is. And like I said, Fashion Nova's giving her a check. She's got movies and all types of other stuff, and she's now her own woman. Because the joke was at the time that, oh, Jordyn Woods isn't saying anything because Kylie turned off her phone.
Right. Or that she was living in Kylie's backyard.
Right, exactly.
You know, but now you're living in your own world.
Yes.
You built your own world. You took, you know, for the Kardashians, their empire was built off of a sex tape. For you, your empire is going to be built off of this scandal. And so, you know, run with the lemons that you were served and build your own lemonade stand the way that they did. And I feel like, you know, I've talked to Elizabeth since then, her mom, and I told her I want to interview Jordyn. I want to sit down with Jordyn. We don't have to get into all the details of that. I really want to talk about the woman she is now and what she's come through because, you know, I don't want it to be awkward when I see her. I don't write these stories with malice and I'm doing this to get this person. And some people have felt that way, but I don't write that way, or I don't even write, but my team doesn't write that way. We're not sitting there plotting to destroy Jordyn Woods. We're just telling stories. And there's some fallout from some of those stories.